There you go. Thanks. Everybody, welcome to Wilsco Farms. I'll be your host, Jeff, and let's go take a tour, shall we? We got about 10 acres here in North Texas, and we do a little bit of everything. We got goats, we got pigs, a horse, a donkey, you know, chickens, ducks, all that good stuff. Oh crap, slipping and sliding. I'm gonna take a shortcut. Ready? It's way safer than the other way. This will be the first episode, so you're getting a tour. Right now we're going to let the goats out. I gotta be careful on my bridge. It's pretty narrow. Watch it. Get it full drive. What mode? Anyway, a narrow bridge. Today we're gonna let the goats out. We'll let them out on the weekends so they can browse around, eat the stuff that the horse and donkey don't eat. Don't mind that clicking, this thing needs maintenance pretty bad. This hill's pretty sketchy. I hadn't quite got around to figuring out how to fix it yet. So, here we go. Alright, so here we go. We're out. We'll drive off. So here's my little slice. Very nice. See that there? There's a failed rainwater catch system. It works, but not that well. Some of the pigs. Oh, Pace Dog. Yes, Pace Dog. We're gonna let Pace run. So there's Pace. I'd like to let him out too. He unfortunately climbs fences, so we can't just let him roam. Here's a little tour. These pigs, they're a Kuni mixture. So not purebred, which ends up being an issue when you want to sell them. But they're still great pigs, and they're delicious. There's some of the babies. There's some of the babies. Look at them. Little chunks. Little chunky monkeys. really great. See right here, it's still bare, it's still kind of going. The trees, it's nice and green. And it just goes to show you the trees do make a difference. I tell you, I put seed after seed after seed. Like 4 layers, way over seeding of this. It's pretty compacted. What's coming around? It's doing great. Four of them. Here's the goats. Here's Ajax. Guinness. Teeny. She's not so teeny anymore. She was too big. We can let them out all weekend. I know, goats. I know. No. You don't need all this down too bad. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna shut this back. The horse and donkey will get in here and just flat destroy it. Alright, so we'll get to lean all this for 3 days or so. Get all fat and happy, and everything's going to work out. I don't know if you can tell about the woods, but this place used to be like that. All this over here, I haven't touched yet. So I'll tell you what. Cut it down with a chainsaw. That gets tiring. Real tiring. And all of this used to be covered. I'm sorry, all of this used to look like all of that. Down this way to get over to the other pigs. So the first set of pigs you saw were all female. One big sow in there and the rest are gilts. Come over here to get to the other pigs. Old Jack. Big old boy right there. There's the rest of the pigs. And they got all these paddocks, pastures. They're about 10,000 square feet. Yeah, so 5 pigs. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And they got plenty of shade, plenty of cover. Come over here. We'll look around and what do we got? Oh my goodness. Alright. This is exciting. Look here. Look what we got here. So all these mounds right here. That's pumpkins. That's pumpkins. I didn't know if they were going to come up. When you come right over here, let me get in here. Right over here, all of this is radish, right? And here, make sure old Oreo don't get in here. She come in here and just destroy everything I'm trying to do. Alright, so we got radish right here. We got melons right here. And I've got melons and pumpkins right here. And here's another pumpkin. So you can see all this grass. So this used to be bare. I had pigs on here way too long. It looked like this, right? If you hear that clicking, that's the electric fence where the pigs messed up. Anyway, so this used to be bare. Nothing at all in here. Of course, you got all these trees. They don't help the grass to grow. Anyway, so this is this spot. So from right here on around to the fence, come around here, and all along here was just hard, packed, bare dirt. You see a little bit of grass. I put just as much grass seed here as I did here, and it didn't do good. You know, it's all compacted because so the pigs got fed along this area, so they're really pounding this down. And I made a wallow by the fence naturally. That's what they do. And all this is where they hung out during the day and just hard packed it. So really, these melons and these radishes and these pumpkins, they're not so much for us to eat. It would be nice. I would eat them. But really, they're here to flower out and spread out and cover this ground and help it hold some moisture and protect it from the sun and do all the good things they do. Oh, you hear that clicking? That's the fence. So like I was saying, I got 10 acres, right at 10 acres. And right now we're only really dealing with about 4. Like I said, it is hard. Coming through here with a handsaw and chainsaw, one guy cut it all down and process the wood and burn all the piles, and you know, that's fun. Like all this over here, I cut it down 2 years ago, but I stay so busy, I just didn't do nothing with it. We got a back spot, so most of this, like I said, is really wooded. I live in what used to be a pecan orchard, and I'm on the back side of it, so first part of my land's got some really nice mature pecans, hundreds of thousands of them. It seems like new ones coming up, but the rest of the backside, there's lots of cedars, which I can't stand. They wreak havoc on this place. Lots of cedars, and then there's tons of oaks, like right here. I don't know if you quite see it. That guy right there in the middle, big old oak. He is fantastic. I got some oaks here. And all this is oaks. That's great stuff. And then I don't know exactly what these trees are. I do know that they grow really good and pretty decent for shade. And nice and bloomed out. Well, hello, goats. Pretty decent for shade, as you can see. Nice shade. But I just don't like them. I don't know. I'm a fan of them. I'd rather have oaks and pecans, things like that. These old goats are going to follow me back here, which is fine. Ain't no big deal as long as they stay on the property. My brother and some other family, my grand, my mom, they built all this fence years ago while I was in the military. And, you know, it's 20 years old, so parts of it are good, but then right here, parts of it have lots of trees growing through them, which is never good for a fence line. So here we are getting more towards the back side of my place. I didn't bring side by side because that bridge is a little sketchy. Anyway, it's real nice, real pretty. You know, it'd be great to run animals back here. We do, the goats and horse and donkey come back here from time to time, but I'm out of breath, getting fat. But you got all these trees, these little things, and look, here's the deal. See that grass over there? That may not be perfect grass or whatever, but it's growing nice and pretty. And right here, it just doesn't grow as good, don't get as much sun. And these leaves, when they die, they just cover everything. They kill it all. And here's my least favorite tree. I don't know what they call it. I call them a blackjack thorn tree. But look at that sucker right there. I've had them in my hands. I've had them in my tires in my Ranger. I haven't had to pull them out of an animal yet, but that thing right there is just, not as hard as I thought it was. It's just not fun. And they get nasty. Here's one right here. Let's check this sucker out. Look at it. No fun whatsoever. There's quite a few of them. Can't quite figure out how to kill them. I've tried taking the bark off of them, ringing around the bark on them, taking the bark off and the ring all the way around it, but just hadn't figured out how to properly kill them, because that don't work at all. Here's the electric fence I had. You might have seen pieces of them. It was a fairly good idea until the ghosts decided they just didn't want to be in there no more. So we come to the back. It is just rode up good. Animals love it back here. Neighbors not so much, but oh well, they can deal with it. Here's the back side. It's more and more wooded every year. These things, ooh, these nasty suckers, they grow really quick. And these trees, I just, shoot, I really wish I remember what they're called, but they grow just ridiculously fast. Be nice to get some kind of mulcher back here and just chew it all up. Well, yeah, so there's the back side. Kind of a whole tour, I guess. We'll pick you up here in a minute on the other side where the garden is.